Capricorn, welcome back to Distilled Tarot. My name's Shannon. I'll be guiding you through this week's reading. This is going to be for the week of July 2nd through the 8th, 2023. Let's see what's going on for Capricorn. At the heart of your reading, we have the Chariot. So you've just come into alignment either within yourself or with another party or a group in a way that enables you to move forward. And as soon as this alignment kind of clicked, so to speak, I feel the pace really picking up fast. There might be some concern about getting what you need out of the situation here with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse at the bottom of the deck, but let's see how the rest of the reading shapes up. Show me the challenge for my Capricorns. Oof. Avoiding a tower. Likely not avoidable. You could be running headlong into a problem, into an ending, with the Ten of Swords here, like it's over before it began. Your focus is the Hermit energy, to rise above it all, to learn from this, to gain perspective. This is really interesting. Furthermore, you see the star that the Hermit's holding there in the lantern? That represents a guiding light, an individual's divine purpose or destiny, so to speak. It is their own individual light. And we have the star in reverse here at the bottom of the deck. So it could be like this energy of not understanding why this is happening. Like, you just come into alignment and then it could be a fear of everything falling apart, or it could be that something major just kind of blew up in your face. You could have taken your chariot up the mountain with you as the Hermit. You know, he goes up to the mountaintop to gain perspective, metaphorically speaking. So you could have like taken your team or yourself and just exited the situation, and you're watching kind of things burn to the ground. You're like, thank goodness I wasn't there. However, I'm curious because the Chariot is like on a mission and moving quickly in the direction that they need to go. Maybe up the mountain is where you needed to go. In the recent past, it was slow and steady. Knight of Pentacles, this sort of like 1 millimeter, 1 inch at a time commitment to an overall goal, gaining, what's the word I'm thinking of? Discipline. It's a very disciplined energy, which comes very, I want to say naturally to Capricorn. You guys would know better than me. I don't have a lot of Capricorn placements in my chart, but everyone has Capricorn in their chart somewhere, even if they don't have a planet in that house or in that sign. Let's see. So we have this disciplined energy bringing you into alignment. I think you saw this tower coming, this tower moment. That's why you were able to sidestep it. You feel very agile in this Chariot energy. It's almost like you knew that you were kind of inching along in a very responsible, measured pace. But this Chariot energy gives you the ability to kind of like zoom, to take things a lot more quickly in one direction or another. And usually I get Chariot energy as just like a very like straight down the middle path. But in this instance, I'm thinking agility is probably more likely. The reason that this is all happening, so to speak, the way that Spirit sees the situation, is the Page of Cups energy. Let me have a think on this. It's either to open the door to someone who is seeking the same thing that you are, and to allow your paths to cross so that you don't take off really quickly towards something and then like end up not crossing paths with this person because of that. So it could be like, let's slow Capricorn down to make sure that this person also gets on the chariot. It could be that. Or it also could be that you're meant to embody more of the energy of the Page of Cups, which is like seeking something from a very fresh perspective, a very optimistic, unspoiled view of the world, kind of like an unbridled optimism, but it's a desire to act. It's focused on the stage of wanting something before you actually act on it. Now, okay, before I finish my shuffling, I want to say, because it came to mind, I didn't mention that the Ten of Cups was in reverse here at the bottom of the deck when the Page of Cups came out. It could be that where you think you're headed, that Ten of Cups energy that you have in your mind, like the epitome of joy and happiness, what that looks like to you, or what you're envisioning as what's going to bring you the ultimate amount of happiness, what sort of life, what does that, like, go to your happy place in your mind sort of energy. It could be that Spirit's like, I want to have you rethink that. Because that reversal there at the bottom of the deck with the Ten of Cups makes me think it might not have brought you as much joy and happiness as you thought it would have, and rather have you go through it in order to learn that lesson. Spirit is sparing you from that and just redirecting you so that you still maintain all of this agility and momentum. You have the ability to move quickly in a direction. And this could just be like bringing it back to the start of, okay, that direction isn't going to work. Where else would you like to go? Show me the near future. Endings, the world, a portal energy. Lots of major arcana coming through here, which tells me this is likely not an energy that's only lasting a week. It's not so transitory as that. It's something that's going to have like a longer impact on your life, more far-reaching consequences. And I think you know that. I think you have the mindset of like planning long-term in general. But this one is definitely the opportunity to level up in some way. So, you know that energy I got of like a strategic like slowdown to make sure that you're aligned or that you line up, you cross paths with a certain individual. Even if it's not like to cross paths with a certain person, it might be a timing issue. Because if you move forward now, you might miss this portal energy. What do I mean by portal? It's like, it's an access point, it's a pivot point. It's where it's too complex to go into in a reading like this. I think you guys know what I'm getting at. Energetically, spiritually, like the grand scheme of things. If you look at humanity like a really complicated set of gears and like clockwork, then if you come into this space at this time, you might only come across that like one time in your lifetime, whereas like this other thing is going to come around and around and around and around. I'm getting so like esoteric about it, I apologize, but it's about like the intricate timing of it all. And when a lot of those timing things align, it gives multiple players in the story an opportunity to close the chapter on the old scenario that they'd been living and step into a whole new kind of world. I do want to say that this is something that to you in the moment likely feels like a disappointing setback. And I do want to have compassion for that, but I just want to really convey that the way I'm getting this energy is very positive. It's very like, from Spirit's perspective, it's like, oh, don't even worry about it. And I know that that might be dismissive because in human form, it's really difficult to just forget about it, to not worry about it when something doesn't go our way or something seemingly falls apart. But it's definitely positive. The King of Swords energy is going to come in and affect this situation in a way that you're not expecting. This is like advice that you're going to get from someone else that didn't seem like good advice at the time. Okay, this is advice you've already received. Or like a way of doing things, a plan of action, a strategy that came from someone else's mind. They're an authority on whatever subject you're thinking of. But in the past, it hasn't resonated with you. It hasn't seemed relevant. It hasn't seemed like it fits your situation. At some point during this process, when you're moving through these energies, you're going to remember that strategy or that advice, and it is going to become much more integrated in how you see the situation. And not in a way of like, oh, I told you so, let me tuck my tail between my legs and, eat crow or whatever. It's much more in a like, oh, it didn't fit the situation before, but with this adjustment, it really could be the thing that propels me forward. And I just want to mention that it's the Four of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Show me hopes and fears. We have the Ten of Wands. You want to be confident that you're going to be able to carry this across the finish line, but you're also concerned that you're partly concerned that you won't be able to, but I don't think that's the major part of the concern here. The fear element comes in with locking yourself into this thing is really going to take up all your energy or a lot of your energy. And you know that once you commit to it, you're going to be in this for the long term. So there's a little bit of that, am I kind of loading up my full attention span, my full calendar with this thing? Is it going to be worth it? Once I bring this flag across the finish line, is it going to pay off in the way that I think it is? Are the people going to be receptive when I deliver the product on time or whatever it is? And the end result, we have a decision being made. The Two of Swords in reverse. I do think that this decision is going to come down from a Hierophant type energy, whether that be a government body or like a leader in a corporation. There's some sort of official process that you're headed toward, and there will be a decision made in an official capacity. I'm going to use my other deck. Let me get a clarifier on this decision. Page of Pentacles in reverse. If it has to do with being accepted to a school, I'm seeing that it's likely the decision is going to be no. If you're looking for an apprenticeship or someone to come on as your apprentice, it's likely going to be no. Hermit in reverse. But whatever it is going to take you out of that Hermit energy. Like wanting to take a step back and see wait for the right timing, or see the lesson in the situation. You will have seen that by the time this concludes. So if whatever perspective you're looking for, you will gain that perspective, and that's going to be meaningful moving forward. I do want to point out here that one of the highlights is the Page of Cups here, and that's leading with your emotions, whereas the Page of Pentacles is much more practical, hands-on. So it may be like you're missing a certain skill that they're looking for, or you might be the one making the decision to not pursue that avenue, to take your chariot in another direction. Your advice is the High Priestess energy, which is to trust your intuition. You have the reins here. You have the alignment. You're the one at the helm. You're the one steering the ship. You are kind of taking a step back to make sure that you don't run headlong into this burning mass of embers. But Spirit is saying you can trust your intuition here. It is going to guide you in the right direction, even if it's a matter of not slowing down as much as you think you might need to, because you have been in the mode of like slow and steady wins the race. You're in a new energy here with this chariot, and you're racing toward a very important pivot point that's going to have a lot to do with timing. So trust that this tower is meant to redirect you and not to stop you. Keep moving forward, and they're giving me this sort of like analogy of like closing your eyes and just driving your chariot based on instinct. That is an analogy. Do not drive any vehicle, chariot or otherwise, with your eyes closed and go off of instinct. Absolutely not. But it's like this sort of don't be so in your head or logical or regimented about how you make the decision to move forward. Try to make more gut decisions in the moment during this phase. Even if it doesn't end up being a long-term like mode of operations for you, it will pay off in the long term, and you'll have an opportunity to affect the outcome if you do that. Because I think what's happening here is, yeah, that path that you were on, if you don't implement this strategy of like, you know, being more agile and trusting your gut and making adjustments in the moment based on your instinct, you might have been headed towards something that is not your destiny here with the star in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Now, I don't usually do this, but I'm being prompted to pull an alternate outcome if you do decide to implement really strongly this go with your gut, trust your instincts, make adjustments in the moment sort of energy. Show me where Capricorn is going to end up if they decide to trust their instincts. You're going to be better off because of the Five of Swords energy. It means you're going to be in the competition. It'll be more challenging, but there will be people who, it's that timing element. People who get caught up in that tower moment, whatever goes wrong, and you're not going to be tied up in it or slowed down by it, you're going to be able to take advantage of the fact that they are kind of nursing their wounds, so to speak. Like they're focused on the problem that's occurring, maybe trying to put the fire out, where you're like, okay, I'm not actually going to build my house there. That's no longer the village site of where I want to build. I'm going to immediately pivot and go somewhere else. So it's that agility and ability to capitalize on a kind of a chaotic situation. Keep your wits about you and you'll come out on top. All right, Capricorn, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that helped. Have a great week, and I will see you back next time.